Hello students, today we are going to start our chapter 2 in biology, that is respiration. So, respiration, this is a very common word which you people know. This term was given by Presley. Here, respiration is a process in which food is oxidized to get energy. How the food is oxidized to get energy? Whenever you eat anything, when you eat food, you gain the nutrients. Then that food particles is again oxidized. Again it is oxidized in the presence of oxygen to give energy. That means combustion of food particle takes place in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen to give energy is called respiration. So you can write here that the process of combustion of food particles in the presence of oxygen to give energy is called respiration. The process of combustion or oxidation also you can write. Of food in the presence of oxygen is called respiration. You people are very much familiar with the word respiration. Respiration means to respire. So, you people know that you can ask me a simple question, then ma'am, what is the meaning of breathing? Breathing. Here is a major difference between respiration and breathing. Respiration is the process of breakdown of glucose molecules to give energy. But breathing is another process. Breathing is a process in which exchange of gases takes place. Breathing means exchange of gases. Which gases and how? Which gases? Oxygen and carbon dioxide. That means when we people are inhaling means to take in. Inhalation. Here comes two words, inhalation and exhalation. In human beings, this is a state in human beings. In human beings, we people take in oxygen. When we are taking this oxygen, it through our trachea. Through our trachea, it goes into our lungs. We take in oxygen and release out carbon dioxide. When we are taking in oxygen, it is called inhalation. But when we are breathing out carbon dioxide, it is called exhalation. Learn the terms inhalation and exhalation. In means, as you are asking your teacher, ma'am, may I come in the class? Come in. In means to take in, to come inside. That means we are taking inside oxygen and releasing out carbon dioxide. Then taking in means inhalation. Inhalation. Relate the word I and in. In is for inhalation. And expelled means out. Exhalation means to release out. So inhalation means to take in. What we are taking? Oxygen. Exhalation means to release out. What we are releasing out? Carbon dioxide. So Breathing is a process in which exchange of gases takes place. Atmospheric gases. Atmospheric gases are oxygen and carbon dioxide. We are taking in oxygen through our nostrils and through our mouth also. But we are releasing again carbon dioxide outside from the same process. So this is a process in which exchange of gases takes place. But now we will read about respiration. Respiration is the process of breakdown of glucose molecules to give energy. Respiration is of two types. So we know that respiration is of two types. Number one, aerobic respiration, and number two, anaerobic respiration. Respiration is of two types. Respiration is of two types. Aerobic and anaerobic. Respiration is of two types, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means the respiration which takes place in the presence of oxygen. Aerobic respiration means the respiration which takes place in the presence of oxygen. But anaerobic respiration means the respiration which takes place in the absence of oxygen. The respiration, this is a short form of respiration, which takes place in the presence of oxygen. Here, the respiration, please write it down. Place in the absence of oxygen. So here you can write an example. So the example of aerobic respiration was breaking down of food particle, where breaking down of food particles. You know that food particles are broken down to give energy, and the process is called respiration. Where? In the cells. In the cells. Okay? Here, food particles of glucose is broken down in the cells to give energy in the presence of oxygen. Hence, it is an example of aerobic respiration. But in anaerobic respiration, the example you can take is fermentation. In fermentation, oxygen is not required for the purpose of respiration. In this aerobic respiration, oxygen is not required for the purpose of fermentation. This fermentation takes place in the absence of oxygen. Example, when people are making dough for idli and dosas, or when you are making a dough for cake, you just mix the dough and you add some amount of yeast in it, you cover it and you keep it. After few hours, you will see that this dough has become fluffy. This dough becomes fluffy and yeast grows in the absence of oxygen, hence this is called fermentation. Okay students, now we will read about discovery of gases and respiration. How this word respiration came into existence, when it came, and who has given us this word. Actually, respiration was used by the earlier people as a medical term only. They were not knowing about it in so much detail. As before 14th century, there was the word breathing, which was known by those peoples. They were knowing the word breathing. But after 14th century, a new word came into existence, that was the respiration. Respiration came into existence, and the people had known about respiration, that it is the mixture of all the gases. They were not knowing so much deeply. They were not knowing about other life processes like nutrition, digestion, circulation, transportation and reproduction. They were knowing simply about respiration, that it is a exchange of gases. But respiration, that in that time only, the respiration was used as a scientific term. Respiration was used as a scientific term, which is also known as a medical term. Respiration was used as a medical term, and it was also used as a process which is involving the passage of air. Passage of air means taking in air and releasing carbon dioxide. These things were known by the earlier people. And respiration is also helpful in the production of body heat. Production of body heat means maintaining the normal body temperature. These things were known by the people in after the 14th century. But later on, in the 18th century, two scientists came forward, Presley and Lavoisier. Presley and Lavoisier, and they said that they have done several experiments. They have done many experiments on leaves to see that oxygen is releasing out or not. It is given in your activity section in your book. Please read it down and write in your notebook. Presley and Lavoisier has given us properties of gases. They have done discoveries on the properties of gases, on the gaseous exchange, how the gases exchange takes place, and the respiration processes. So these three theory came into existence. This three theory came into existence in 18th century, which was given by Presley and Lavoisier. Again, I am explaining this thing. Listen it carefully. Before 14th century, there was only a single term which was known by the earlier people, that was the breathing. Later on, after 14th century, a new term came into existence, that was respiration, only respiration. They were knowing that respiration is a process where exchange of gases takes place. Exchange of gases. They were not knowing about other life processes like nutrition, digestion, reproduction, exercise, nothing. They were only knowing that exchange of gases takes place. Later on, in that time only, respiration was used as a scientific term. Scientific term means as a medical term. They were knowing that respiration is involving passage of air. They know that respiration is helpful in the production of body heat. In body heat means maintaining normal body temperature. But in 18th century, two scientists came forward, Presley and Lavoisier. They have done various experiments, many experiments, and then they have given us the properties of gases, gaseous exchange, and respiration process. So, students, now we will read about the steps which are involved in respiration. So, in respiration, the steps are first breathing. Breathing means exchange of gases. The second step is gaseous exchange at lungs level. What happens? Here, you understand very properly, very nicely that whenever this is the nasal chamber, as I said you people that there is a palate which is a barrier between the buccal part, mouth part and nose part. Through the nasal chamber, the air goes into the lungs by the help of a D-shaped structure pipe. D-shaped pipe, that is trachea. Trachea is known as windpipe. I said you people very much earlier also these things. Trachea is the windpipe. Through the windpipe, the atmospheric oxygen is going into our lungs. Lungs is two lungs are there, right lungs and left lungs. left lungs is little bit smaller than the right one. Why? Because the aorta, heart is in the middle, but the aorta is little tilted in the left side. So the left lungs is little bit smaller than the right one due to the aorta of the heart. So when we do breathing, gaseous exchange takes place at the lungs level. Then the gas is transported by blood. What happens when the oxygen is stored in the lungs? The blood from the heart goes into the oxygen, goes into the lungs, mixes with the oxygen, and becomes oxyhemoglobin. Becomes oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin means oxygen plus hemoglobin. Heme means iron. Heme means iron. Plus globulin means protein. This is together known as blood. That means oxygen, blood which is mixed with oxygen is called oxyhemoglobin. Oxygen plus blood is called oxyhemoglobin. Now the blood is mixing with oxygen, and here the gas is oxygen gas is transported by the blood, as blood is a fluid connective tissues to the different parts of the blood. Now this blood will come at the tissue level. Tissue level where the gaseous exchange takes place. Now from the tissue level to cellular respiration, and in this way the process of respiration will continue. Breathing, then gaseous exchange at tissue level. After gaseous exchange at lungs level, the gas will be transported by the blood. Now this blood along with the gas will come in the tissue where the gaseous exchange takes place. Now from the tissue to the cell. This is the process of respiration. Thank you.